Hi, this is Terina Gillette with Terina Gillette Fine Arts, owner of Royal Magic Events. And today we're in my studio and we're going to talk about face painting brushes and sponges. What are the right kinds to buy? So if you'd like to have more information after viewing this tutorial, please visit my blog, Learn How to Face Paint. Alright, the first thing we're going to talk about is the different kinds of brushes. And this is a holder that actually I designed and my husband built for me several years ago. And it just has little holes in it, but you can get all kinds of different types of brush holders out. And as a matter of fact, these are no longer, I did make little labels for these, for the different sizes and the different types of brushes, but I just kind of ignore that now because I put them, I've already rearranged how I set this up every time now. I also use my painter's bucket with the little, that's why I like the painter's bucket instead of a cup, because it has a little holder in here to store extra brushes. And usually what I do is I keep my wider brushes in one side in my rinse bucket, and then in my dip bucket I just will keep the brushes that I use quite a bit right there beside of me. And I do a lot of designs with round brushes, so you need a good outlining brush to do your detail work with. I use lots of 1-inch brushes. These are flat brushes. Sometimes they're called wash brushes. I in particular love Leo Cornell brand. These are Royal Majestic brand. They're about $6 at your local craft store. These range about $25 to $35 depending. These are the Gold Talcon series, so that's why these are my favorite. I also use these for my window painting, not this particular brush because this is for my face painting, but this brand for my window painting. And I would just recommend getting a good variety of sizes. A lot of people spend a great amount of money when they first start face painting into brushes because they don't really quite know what to invest in. It's kind of up to you about the brand that you like. I would not recommend getting craft type of brushes that were student quality. Good chisel brushes I would recommend. I use this size quite a bit to make flowers and things with. And I also use this smaller, and this was a longer brush. This is called a filbert brush. This got, I don't know if you can see behind my hand there with the background how it almost has like a little edge to it, like a chisel to it. And this was a longer brush that I just cut. Some people like to have really long brushes. It kind of irritates me to have the really long ones for the face paint. So I usually just cut off the ends. These are, I use these for lip brushes, but see it's the same type of a tip on these brushes if you can kind of see there. These are Paradise brand brushes, and you can get these separately, or you can purchase these smaller kits and they come in the kits. You can see where I've cut places out for my paints that I've used for little mini split cakes there. And let's see what else. We're going to talk about sponges now. Well, before we talk about sponges, I want to talk about how I take care of my brushes. I always, in another video, I talked about how I rinse in one. I usually use the one furthest away for me to rinse in and one closest to me just to dip my water in. I put Brush Bath, which is available at Silly Farm. It smells wonderful. A little bit just in your water, it makes it soapy and sudsy, and it cleans out your brushes in between people when you're painting, especially if you're at a big event where you're painting lots of people. And then this is available for between, you know, $9 and $10 at most art stores or craft stores. This particular one I got just at my local Hobby Lobby. And it's called Pink Soap, and you put it just in a little bit in a cup, and then after you've rinsed your brushes in this, I take the pink soap and then try to get all that I can, because some of the paints, as you can see right here, some of the paints stain just a little bit on the bristles. And so to keep the brushes really good and clean and bacteria free, I just really am a sanitizing maniac. So I like everything to get as much pigment out of my bristles as possible. And then now we're going to talk about sponges. These particular sponges here are Snazaroo sponges, and they came in a petal set. When you first, and they have like a beautiful little flower, and you can set the flower out and get your individual sponges out to use from your petal. I like to take the colors out and set them color coordinated with my paint. The only issue is once these are damp, when you wring them out and you set them down, the water can kind of eventually seep into your paint. So you do need to be a little careful in that regards to make sure that your paint doesn't get too milky or overly wet or ruin or waste your investment of your face paint. So these start out, you can kind of see, sorry my phone was speaking there. I'll see if you can kind of see the density of this. These are a little thicker of a sponge and they're a little more dense. So the applications on these just takes a little while to get used to them. I kind of have small hands, so I tend to like these sponges. These are also Snazzy sponges. They're much softer than these sponges. They're really great for small little bitty children's eyes. So little preschool age kids and kindergartners, these fit perfect just to, you know, rub around into their eye area for puppy dogs and homemade butterflies that you're using custom colors with and things like that. And then these sponges right here, these are Wolfe Sponges that I've just cut in half. And these are actually, I think, Silly Farm sponges that I typically cut in half. And this is a little thicker and denser, so when this is cut in half, then it has a really good wedge for you to use on your rainbow cakes or your split cakes, and to cover, although you can use it just like that. See how it fits perfect? I mean, they're a great size. I tend to like to use pieces of things and smush things up and that type of thing. These are sea sponges, and right now it's kind of hard, but when it's wet, let's see if I have any water in here. I don't know if I have enough water in there to... So now you can see how it's a little more pliable. The sponge is soft, and these are great to make beards with or added textures for special effects, like if you're doing monster skin and things like that, and you want to kind of add some really cool outlining and highlights and stuff like that. And I think that there are other different sponges available. These are the particular sponges that I personally like to use. This sponge right here is the last sponge that I'll go over. This came in the craft section at the local Hobby Lobby store. And just cut it in half, and there you go. If you'd like more information, please visit my blog, learnhowtofacepaint.com. Thank you.